did it again.
We did it.
What episode? 5? Episode 5.
Episode 5.
What's this one about? Because I'm not doing it this time.
This one we're going to talk about a town. Well, crimes that happened in this small town.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have you ever heard of Skidmore, Missouri?
Heard of possibly one crime from this town. So I don't know what the other one would be, or maybe I will. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Do you know where Skidmore's at?
No, I don't.
No.
Can you tell me?
I can tell you for sure. So Skidmore is located in Nottoway County, which is the uppermost west tip of Missouri. So
right above us.
Kansas City, there. Okay. The population is less than 300 people.
Okay.
It's small. It's a small town.
Mm-hmm.
Like really small.
Mm-hmm.
Like you blink, you passed it.
Okay.
That's how small the town is, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a town this small, it had 2 major murders that happened in it. So major that it's internationally recognized.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's definitely an anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for a small town.
A small town. Right.
Yes.
It's outrageous. This one you might know because it's been on a few shows before.
Yes.
Okay. The first one happened in the 80s.
Okay.
Great decade.
Is it?
Well, I was born in it.
Oh.
I don't remember it, but a good decade. Anyway, so his name was Ken Rex McElroy. I don't know why his name was Rex. Like, it doesn't say it was a middle name. It has it in parentheses.
Who doesn't want Rex as a nickname? Rex is dinosaur, T-Rex. Big head, little arms.
So he was basically a town bully.
Rude.
Yeah. McElroy was not a nice guy in this town of Skidmore. Terrible guy.
Mm-hmm.
He stole cattle and other livestock, set fires to his property to get the insurance money, but then he also set fire to people he was harassing. Not to the people, to the people's properties that he was harassing.
I wouldn't be surprised if he set people on fire, though.
He could have.
Much of a nuisance he is.
He was a nuisance. He was also accused of assault, child molestation, statutory rape, and burglary.
And he's not been put away yet?
No.
He hasn't been put away yet? Okay.
No. So the child and rape charges would not stick because he would marry the girls.
No.
Yeah. So they couldn't testify against him.
Ugh.
And when I say marry, he would marry them as well as being not completely divorced from the previous wife.
I assume there's they follow these laws that they're not. Missouri's not a polygamous state.
It is not.
Obviously.
We're not Utah.
Why did they not enforce this
80s?
in this small town? No, 80s. 80s was.
Well, I feel like when you were a cop in the 80s, they're like, "Oh, you committed a crime. Give me money." Okay, you didn't do it. Like, I feel like all the things I've seen.
I mean, did he know the sheriff? Did he know the judge? Like, did he have?
I don't think so. So he
best
had
friends?
No, but he had a really good lawyer. So good, in fact, he was considered a fancy Kansas City lawyer.
How was he fancy? How did he meet this lawyer?
I don't know, through friends maybe. So the reason that he was fancy was because he apparently, I couldn't find information about it, but he apparently was a mob lawyer. Mm-hmm. He got off criminals in Kansas City, mob affiliates in Kansas City, which honestly, I didn't know that there still was a Kansas City mob anymore.
I'm sure it's out there. We don't know it. I'm sure all.
Probably in the 80s, there definitely was.
Yeah.
But I didn't know there was a mob anymore. But anyway, his last wife, Trina McLeod, was around 14 to 15 when they first got together, and she got pregnant. Yeah, in total, he had about 10 kids with different women.
Where are these parents of these girls?
Well, apparently when Trina ran away the first time to her parents' house, it was said that he threatened her family and killed her family dog.
Oh.
Yeah. She says that was a lie.
He told her to say that?
He could have. I mean, there are records showing domestic violence in his house.
I'm not surprised.
So
he seems like a cuckoo man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he was indicted 21 times for all of his crimes and got away with all of it except the last one.
Okay, let's see if it sticks.
Okay, in 1981, McElroy was convicted for shooting and injuring Ernest Bowenkamp with intent to kill. So he wanted to kill him. He was going to kill him.
Did we know why?
So it really had nothing to do with Bowenkamp. Bowenkamp was this 70-year-old man who was working in his family-owned grocery business. Okay, he was the patriarch of the family, basically. The day before, McElroy's daughter went into the store, put candy in her mouth, and was leaving when Bowenkamp's wife or daughter, I can't remember which one it was, said, "No, you need to stop. You need to pay for that." And that infuriated McElroy. So he came back the next day and shot Bowenkamp.
I mean, this whole family seems like a hellion of a group. Like, what gives this little child the audacity to just, I'm going to eat without,
Because
paying?
her father is McElroy.
And what gives him the right to be all, I'm McElroy.
I don't know. He had this...
He's so full of himself.
He's been apparently harassing the town since he was 13, 14 years old.
Does he have a job?
No, he has no job. He owned property, and it looks like he would sell cattle, which he stole. Yeah. And set fires to his property and get the insurance money. That's how he was making money.
Who has the time to think of this shit? Like, I'm just going to be a nuisance, a con artist, a thief to this whole town and get money. I don't have this mind. I know, obviously, we talk about people that have this mindset of, like, I'm just going to cheat the system and be a fucking asshole to the world. I'm like...
How? What?
It's exhausting.
It is. It's exhausting to just think about it. So, some narcissist?
Yeah, narcissist. Thank you. Vocabulary.
I try. My college degrees came in handy for one thing. McElroy was able to appeal this conviction and was released on bond. Yeah.
Who paid? Himself?
Himself? It didn't really say. He was released on bond. So bond, even though if it's set really high, you only have to pay
a certain amount.
5%.
Yeah.
And it could have been different in the 80s, but in current, you only have to pay 5% of what the bond is. So it's like he probably only had to pay $100 or $1,000 or so dollars. So don't know. It didn't say. Very next day, McElroy threatened and started harassing the Bowenkamp family by showing up to their property, to their stores at night, flashing lights in their house, shooting guns in the air, honking his horn. Yeah. He also harassed anyone in town who was sympathetic to the Bowenkamps. So the reason he was doing all the harassing was to try to convince them not to do the trial. It's so he doesn't have to, go to jail.
Yeah.
He wants to get off. Yeah.
How about you stop being an idiot and harassing people and
trying to kill people?
Yeah, trying to kill people, and you won't go to jail.
Yeah. He was even harassing a local minister. Yeah. Like, he gave no shit.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, he didn't care.
I have no respect for this man.
I don't either. Yeah. I know we're supposed to be biased, but no, unbiased. We're supposed to be unbiased. No. Not biased. We're not.
We are biased.
We are completely biased right now. No. He showed up at a local bar with a firearm and a bayonet and said that he will kill Bowenkamp in front of everyone pretty much in this town, including the sheriff. The sheriff was there.
You didn't arrest
at the bar. I guess it was freedom of speech, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if you can say something and it doesn't mean you're going to do it.
I think it means it's going to do it.
Probably, but you can't, I don't.
He was just arrested for attempting to murder him.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know.
Mr. Sheriff.
The very next day after he went into the bar, the town held a town meeting with the sheriff and mayor in attendance.
Okay.
What what was the meeting about, you ask?
What was the meeting about, Karen?
It was about what to do with McElroy.
What to do with McElroy?
I really want to be in the meeting that they had, just to see what other ideas were thrown around, because there are quite a few.
I would assume.
The top two were throw McElroy out of town.
I find that idiotic, because he would probably harass another town.
Right. I mean,
And do the same
can you
shit.
legit kick someone out of town?
I would assume so. I don't know.
I know.
I haven't been kicked out of town.
I know. I hopefully
I
we
left
never have
town.
to. We leave town.
If he gets kicked out of town, he should go to Kansas City, and then the mob can deal with him.
There we go. That's forward thinking right
welcome.
there. And then the other one was to form a neighborhood watch. Basically to just watch him. What he does, follow him around.
And what if he does something like?
Well, the
what, are they
sheriff
gonna
would
arrest-
have been on the neighborhood watch.
And
so.
is he actually going to do his job and arrest him? Charge him?
I mean, if the sheriff sees you do a crime,
well, it doesn't seem like he's doing his job.
I don't know. Maybe he's a newly elected sheriff. I don't know.
I doubt it. I feel like he may be an old man and just, I don't care anymore.
Well, so the prosecutor, the town prosecutor, actually was a new prosecutor. He was only 3 years out of law school too.
I mean, yeah, you go, little baby man. Yes.
Yeah, but he got
Make the changes.
he got it to stick. I think it's because instead of doing the attempt to murder, he got it down to aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He got it down, and so it was I think he would have served 10 years in prison, 5 to 10 years if he got.
It would have been peaceful for 10 years, at 5 years at least. You go,
Something like
baby
that.
queen.
During the meeting, someone ran in and said McElroy is on Main Street in his truck, which apparently is just right down the road from them, just right there.
Okay.
He's just sitting in his truck with his wife doing nothing, just sitting. Maybe at a red light, stop sign. Would this town have a red light? I don't know.
I would hope so.
It's
Maybe
a small
one,
town.
Just one.
One on Main Street.
One.
Right there.
It's like Stars Hollow. When they got the stop
Yeah,
line.
and then they just wait
one.
there. That's why. Okay, that explains why the crowd left.
Yes, it took 5 hours for it to turn green.
So between 30 to 46 people, and I know that's a random number, but that's how many it said it was.
Okay.
30 to 46 people left that meeting to confront McElroy. And I don't know what they were expecting with confronting him, but McElroy ended up shot to death in broad daylight.
Okay. His wife was in the car? Or did they pull her out?
His wife was in the car. She ducked right when the shooting happened, and some passerby pulled her into the bank that was right next door.
That's nice. Was this Trina?
Trina, yeah.
Trina.
This was Trina.
Or he has so many wives, I don't know.
This is Trina.
Okay, well, I'm glad baby Trina is okay.
Bullets that were found in his body, which numerous, it was a lot of bullets, came from at least 2 different firearms. They couldn't figure out if it was more. They just knew it was at least 2.
Okay.
Because of trajectory.
Yeah.
The different, because it was numerous.
And I assume, small town, they hold arms, bare arms.
They bear their arms.
Yeah, they have the right. I don't, because I have no arms. It's not good arms. Not good guys.
Right there.
But, yeah, most towns,
Most towns.
they have that right.
Mm-hmm.
Like that right.
Everyone in the crowd was like, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
And expressed they didn't know who took the shots either. They're like, who? No, it wasn't. It wasn't anyone in this crowd.
No. It was a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cow.
It was a cow. To this date, no one has been charged for killing McElroy.
Well, justice, I feel like.
Has been served.
Yeah. And I kind of respect this town for sticking to their guns and be like, we got rid of this nuisance shot of a man destroying our town. And, I applaud these people. They
Good
got
job.
it done.
I mean,
they had the meeting. I don't think, maybe murder was one of them. Who knows? But, they
it
solved
could have been.
They solved
We don't
our
know.
problem.
They solved it. They got it solved.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad that someone died, but he didn't seem like a very nice man.
No. I would be so frustrated if I lived in that town, this guy again.
Right?
I would move out of the town. I don't care. I'm like, I need to get out.
I'm just trying to picture, like, what my brothers, like, because my brothers would not have stood for any of that. So it's just like, and I doubt your family would either. I don't think anyone would stand for that, but apparently this town has been doing it for, McElroy was 40-something when he died, and he's been doing crime since he was, years? Yeah, since he was at least, 12, 13.
I'm like, I couldn't tolerate this. Imagine me, like, growing up with it. It's like, oh, this crazy man doing his shit again.
It's like, oh, it's our town.
Yeah.
It's what we do.
Well, I guess happy ending. For some people. For the majority of the people.
For some people. I mean, Trina still lost her husband.
Was it really a loss to her?
I don't know.
Did she love him?
I don't know. Probably.
I think she just tolerated him.
She tolerated him. I mean, she did sue the town of Skidmore.
Did she?
And some other people who she suspected of doing the shooting. Sued the mayor and the sheriff, too. Like, because for them not doing their jobs in town. Yeah. It's like, did they not do their jobs in town? Second murder. It happened actually closer to us, about 17 years ago. December 16th, 2004.
Okay, I was 12.
16?
16.
Just got my license. Hey, because I got my license around this time. Because it was snowing, like, the whole month of my birth. And so, yes, I celebrate my whole month of birth.
As everyone should.
Yeah.
I do. I even go 2 months later.
Right? Might as well. Just keep celebrating. And so it was really bad weather, and Mom didn't want me going out. So
I don't know what I did at 12. Nothing
fun?
No. What happens at 12?
Puberty?
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Puberty. The throes of puberty.
Let's do some background info first. Bobbie Jo Stinnett owned a dog breeding business with her husband, Jeb. Great name.
Jebediah.
Don't know. It's just Jeb. Then went to dog shows and other dog events because, breeder. Doggies. Same. She was also a very active member of an online chat group called Ratter Chatter. I love the name. I wonder if it's still there, like an AOL chat group.
Maybe.
I mean, AOL was popular in 2004, right?
I was 12. I wasn't on AOL.
No. But yeah, it was a very popular chat group called Ratter Chatter, dedicated to people who adored rat terriers.
Cute.
Yeah, so she was a rat terrier breeder.
Obvious.
Annette ended up meeting with a woman who called herself Darlene Fletcher through the chat room, but then they also met at some events apparently.
Okay.
The two became fast friends, and it started exchanging emails instead of just doing the chat room. Through that, they learned that they were both pregnant at the same time and due around the same time. Coinkadink.
That's nice. Kids could grow up together.
Yeah, they're bonding.
Yes.
They talked more about the growing bellies and motherhood. Stinnett was found by her mother, murdered in her home with her unborn baby cut out of her belly.
That took a turn. Oh.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about this.
Did not know what happened in Skidmore until I did the research.
Yeah.
I remember it. I did not remember it happened in Skidmore.
I didn't know. I don't think it. Yeah, no. I didn't know. I remember hearing about it. I didn't know it was Missouri local. Because I was young.
The mother described to the 911 operator that it looked like Stinnett's stomach had exploded. Yeah, so like that's how bad the cutting was. Like, paramedics were unable to save her and placed the time of death roughly an hour before the mother found her. Lisa Marie Montgomery called her husband the same day to say that she went into labor and gave birth, while her husband was away in Topeka, Kansas. They lived in Kansas, so her husband was on a shopping trip in Kansas, getting stuff ready for the baby. Montgomery had 4 children of her own with her first 2 husbands, as well as having her tubes tied in 1990. Unknown to her current husband.
Well, miracles do happen.
2 babies can be born. Montgomery expressed that she also has a background of being abused both sexually and physically from her stepfather and her previous husbands. Just sprinkle that in there for now. Eyewitness reported that she saw Montgomery, her husband, and 2 teenage sons out for breakfast the next day with an infant baby. So the police were able to trace the IP address from the emails that Stinnett and Fletcher were exchanging and realized that Fletcher was a fake name that Montgomery was using. They arrested her on December 17th, the day after the murder, at her farmhouse in Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
So the witness who saw her out, there was a Amber Alert that went out for the baby and the car description. Okay, so when they arrived to take her to the station, the police found the car matching the description of the one that was seen at the crime scene, and that was on the Amber Alert. And when they walked into the house, they found her holding the infant and watching TV. Just chill. Not like she killed someone and stole a baby. When they first arrested Montgomery, she was expressing that the baby was hers and that she had no clue who Stinnett was. Mm-hmm. She's never even heard the name. Honey. Within an hour, she ended up cracking during the interrogation, and she confessed to killing Stinnett, strangulating her with a pink neon rope.
Very specific.
And cutting the baby out. Luckily, the baby was 8 months along. The doctors said that she was healthy and she was fine, even though she had a traumatic birth. The baby was safely recovered and returned to Stinnett's husband, and he ended up naming her Victoria Jo.
It's cute.
Bobbie Jo, Victoria Jo. Call her Vicky Jo.
Vicky Jo.
Obviously, Montgomery was put into trial, and her former 2 husbands actually spoke against her, saying that she, even though her tubes were tied, she went into at least 4 different times saying that she was pregnant when she wasn't, and like she would gain weight and be like, "Oh, I'm pregnant, I'm having a baby," and then ended up not being pregnant.
I just don't understand. I don't know if she decided to get her tubes tied or one of her husbands decided. Like, why? If she did make that decision, why did she decide to fake, a pregnancy, or did she want kids? Like, why did she want?
So she had 4 kids already of her own, and I think the oldest ones were teenagers, is how it's kind of sounding, and because she got married young when she was like 18.
Yeah.
And so she was just kind of like, I guess, started having kids right then.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say why she chose to tie her tubes. Maybe she was just like, I'm done having kids. And then she got married for a 3rd time to Kevin Montgomery, and they wanted to try to have a kid. And her body was changing, and like she said that she was pregnant, so he thought she was pregnant.
I mean, there are other ways to get kids.
It's adoption.
Yeah,
adopt.
Exactly.
There's plenty of babies and children and teenagers who need to be adopted and loved.
Yeah. She's not all there.
She was not all there. That's actually her defense. They did a criminally insane defense. 3 psychiatrists come in and do examinations on her, and the one that the government used was like, no, she's not insane. So they were able to try her. She was tried and found guilty in 2007.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. She was actually executed by lethal injection January 13th, 2021. So,
wow.
January. She was also the first woman in 67 years to be killed by the U.S. federal government.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only been a total of 4 women executed by the government, which I find really low. Like, I thought there would be more.
Yeah. And so what makes her being tried in a federal court?
So she was tried in a federal court versus a state court because she committed the crime in Missouri, and she transported the baby over to Kansas and stayed in Kansas. Okay. So it's technically crossing state lines, so it was two different jurisdictions,
Yeah.
so it has to be a federally case.
No, makes sense.
Yeah. So
The more you know.
Yeah, the more you know. I just find it fascinating that there's only been 4.
Yeah,
and
that's definitely
all of
fascinating.
the history of America.
Mm-hmm.
Only 4 women have been convicted and killed and executed.
Yeah, by the federal government.
By the federal government, and it's been 67 years since.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, whoa, didn't know that.
Yeah, the lady was crazy.
She was a crazy lady.
It's unbelievable. I can't believe that happened.
I can't believe these 2 major crimes happened in this small ass town. Like, it's so small.
Yeah, and they became international
Recognized crimes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying the town itself is recognized. I'm saying that the crimes themselves
Mm-hmm.
are recognized because, I mean, McElroy, it's still unsolved.
Yeah.
There's TV shows and other web series
Mm-hmm.
and podcasts that talk about it.
Yeah.
Bobby Joe's case, I remember hearing about it. It's been on the news.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's so shocking that
It is.
both of these crimes happened in this town.
Well, I'm glad justice was served for both crimes, in a sense.
In a sense, it was. Thank you
Yes,
for
thank
watching.
you.
What's our 5th one? Woo! 5. We're halfway through our season, guys. Woo!
So, like and subscribe, and we hope to see you again. Bye. Thanks.
Bye, guys.